Hey guys, here's my hot take this week. I heard a little something about The Hunt for Gollum. It sounds like it's a new Peter Jackson film coming out that's going to reunite all the production teams that were involved in The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And sounds really interesting. I think it has some high potential. But I have been thinking that I thought I'd share my thoughts that you didn't ask for on the Lord of the Rings series. Now, I cannot believe that The Lord of the Rings is over 20 years old. I remember when they came out, and I never get tired of watching The Lord of the Rings. In fact, I love the enhanced, um, longer versions of The Lord of the Rings. Um, I love them. The extended editions. I remember collecting the original DVDs and getting a special box that was waiting for the final extended cuts to come out. And there was a green one and a blue one and a red one. And they came with like four discs so that you could have all the extended, um, you know, behind the scenes videos. I mean, I ate it up, every minute of it. I used to have that just going in my studio. I remember just watching it and letting it run. Loved it, loved every minute of it. In fact, I really am starting to believe that Lord of the Rings, as a movie franchise, is probably one of the greatest adaptations ever made. Or just I might just even go ahead and say it is the greatest adaptation ever made, and it's infinitely rewatchable, and it's a high point of technology, storytelling, everything that went into it. You can see how much love and passion went into making it. Now, of course, after the Lord of the Rings series, I was excited to see The Hobbit and what was going to happen with The Hobbit. And there was drama with Guillermo del Toro was attached in the beginning, and then somehow that shifted, and Peter Jackson came back to work, and it went from two movies to three movies, and so it's hard to untangle what happened there, and what happened with the movie rights, and what was a studio decision, what was a creative decision. I'm not really sure, but I don't like the Hobbit series as much as I like the Lord of the Rings series. There are numerous things about the Hobbit series that I love. In fact, some of the most beautiful scenes are in the Hobbit series, like just I think the first one, just the where the adventure begins, the dwarfs coming to town and picking up Bilbo, and all that detail is awesome. Where it kind of fell apart for me, where everything was kind of added that became extra stuff for the story. I didn't like Bilbo's interaction with the dragon. I thought that missed the mark a little bit. There are a number of things that I thought were just over the top and just seemed like just Peter Jackson, being Peter Jackson. So, A Hobbit isn't really high on my list in terms of adaptation. So I don't know what The Hunt for Gollum is going to be like. So I'm a little dubious. And frankly, I have nothing good to say about the Rings of Power. I think that is the worst kind of fan fiction. It's terrible. It doesn't play in the universe very well. I think it puts a modern sensibility on an old story, and I don't like that. I think it should be true to the source material. So I'm not a fan of Rings of Power, and I think it should be put down and redone. I really think that they made a mistake there. They kind of broke the rules of the universe and messed with the characters, so not a fan. All right, so that's my thoughts. I'm curious. I'm interested to see what happens with the Hunt for Gollum. Um, I rewatched recently the entire Lord of the Rings, and boy, you just can't beat those characters. Aragorn, Frodo, Gandalf, Gimli, Legolas, everybody. It's a nice thing to watch when you're disappointed with no Star Wars to watch. All right. See you around, everybody.